Welcome to G3, Games, Gadgets, and Guests, an audio and video podcast from 702 Communications. I'm your host, Brian Cromit. As you can see by the variety of things on the table here, we've got a gadget episode for you today, and today we are talking about the UE Boom and the UE Roll speakers. Now, I know everybody's got a Bluetooth speaker. In fact, I've got so many at home that I just have them laying around. I've got them in closets. They're just kind of sitting there and dying. So one might wonder why I'd need to get new ones to review on the podcast. And honestly, I wasn't sure, but once I got a hold of these, I was happy to have them and happy to be reviewing them and glad they're now also in my Bluetooth speaker collection. So first of all, let's talk about the UE Roll. The UE Roll, that's this guy over here. The UE Roll is a little bit different than other traditional speakers. We'll put it here for you. Other traditional speakers that you may be familiar with. This one is more, it's more like a dinner plate than what you're probably used to. So it's unique in that. It's also unique that it's got a bungee cord on the back of it. And that bungee cord is so that you can hang it wherever you want to hang it. If you want to hang it on a fence, if you want to hang it on a tree, if you want to hang it on your belt, if you want to hang it on your bike, you can hang it wherever you want to hang it. The possibilities for placement really are endless with that. The other really cool thing about these is that they're waterproof. So they've got a little flap back here, and the whole thing is waterproof. In fact, according to the specs, it can be in water, a meter deep, for up to 30 minutes. So that's pretty cool. In fact, they're so confident in the waterproof nature of it that each UE Roll comes with a personal floaty that you can then strap the bungee to, and it'll float around in the pool. So I've done that. It works. It also, one of the really cool things about the Roll is they don't have great sound, as far as volume, because they are kind of a smaller speaker. So UE did come up with a technology where you can pair them up. It's called double up. So if you get a second one, you can, with just a couple clicks in the app, you can get them paired up together. It's cool because they have a legitimate left and right side to them. You can adjust the left and right sides. So you really do get some pretty cool stereo sound at that point. So that's cool. It does only work on the Roll. You can only pair with one other Roll, and it has to be a Roll. It can't be some other speaker in the product line. But that's a cool little feature for these speakers. The Bluetooth range, these do connect via Bluetooth, obviously, to your phone. Bluetooth range is really good. I've had them connected with my phone. I've been 30 feet away from the house, outside, and then I go inside, and no matter what level of the house I'm on, the music keeps playing. So that's been really, really cool. And the setup for the Bluetooth is really easy. You download the app, you pair the speaker as you expect to pair, and you're off and running. There are a couple cons, though, to these Roll speakers, and number one, as I kind of mentioned, is the sound. They sound good. They do sound good, but they don't sound like wow good. If you're a speaker geek, the response range on these is 108 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So you don't have obviously the bass, the low end bass that you'd really want. But the nice thing is the sound is really clean all through the lows, the mid, the highs, and it does have a maximum of 85 decibels. So you get some sound out of them. At the very top of the volume range, there is just a little bit of distortion when you're really at the top, but for the most part, really good speakers. The double up, as I say, is cool when it works. It's not quite as simple to double up as it maybe should be. In fact, the first time I tried to double these up, it took me about 20 minutes of finagling and going back and forth and figuring out how to do it. So once you get them together, they always remember that they've been paired and they work. They just work then, but the first time wasn't great. Also, one of the cons for this is once they've doubled up, they need to be really close to each other, like 6 to 8 feet, and it appears that they also need line of sight to really work well together. Otherwise, you're going to have them cutting in and out. So that's something to keep in mind with that double up function. But it's workable. It's not ideal. And then on the battery, I have had just a little bit of trouble with one of these units. When you go into the app, it'll show you the battery level on it, and even though I've checked, even though I've charged that overnight, when I first booted it up, when I first paired it up in the app, it was showing 0 battery. But then as it started to play, it did play, and then the battery showed it full charge again. So there's something just a little bit weird with that one, and I hear that is fairly common. So that's a little bit weird. That's kind of a con there too. So the bottom line, if you're looking for something that's super portable, that you want for the pool or by the pool or whatever, that's waterproof, it's a cool little speaker. They retail for $99. You can find different colors for different prices. These blue ones, I just picked up the second blue one actually for $65 on Amazon. So go out, there are deals to be found. Pick one up. So also in the UE line, they've got a couple speakers in the line, and the rolls are at the bottom. There's one above that, and then there is the UE Boom. The UE Boom looks more like an Echo. Okay, it's more of that traditional speaker design. So what's good about the Boom? The sound. I really do like the sound, and I was actually pretty surprised about how good that speaker sounds. They talk about 360 sound because it is that, pop can-like design, and you can maybe hear just a little bit of variance on the front where the controls are, but you really do they really did do a good job of really designing it so that you can hear really well from wherever the speaker is, from wherever you are in relation to it. So no matter if you're in front of it, behind it, to the side of it, it still sounds good. So that's cool. The response range on this is just a little bit better than on the Roll. They've got a 90 hertz to 20 kilohertz, so you do have just a little bit better bass. They also do have it set up to push out 90 decibels, so it's a little bit louder than the Rolls. So it's a really solid speaker. This one too, they claim to be waterproof. I haven't done anything with that one yet because I really like this speaker. I haven't been willing to drop it in the water yet. But it also is rated for waterproof to a meter for 30 minutes underwater. So that's also cool. Bluetooth range, again, that's the same technology in both of them. Really good range. I've had this speaker on one floor and been on a floor above, 2 floors above, 2 floors below. It's a really, really impressive Bluetooth range, so I like that quite a bit. As I mentioned when talking about the Roll, the Boom does have a pairing feature as well. But in the higher UE line, they've got not a double up, but they've got what they call a party up. And in the party up, you can pair the Boom and the Wonder Boom, which is a line level above that I don't have. But you can pair up to 150 of these together for a big party experience. So if you get a bunch of your friends together and you've all got one of these, you get together and you can pair them all, and you can all be sharing music. And I'd be interested to see it. But because the price point on these is just a little bit higher, I don't have one, and I definitely don't have 150 of them. But it would be interesting, I think, to see that party up. Battery life, I didn't mention that on the Roll. On the Roll, I was seeing about 9 hours is what they're rated for. I've had them go. I'd say all of that. 9 hours is realistic on that. The Boom is rated for 15, and I've got no reason to believe that it's not. I haven't looked specifically at it, but I know that I've had the Boom playing all day long while I've been working on the house or whatever. So battery life is really good. Charges pretty quickly, so no complaints there. So another thing that's cool about the Boom is it does have interaction with Siri or Google, depending on your phone. So you can just click the button up here, it'll activate Siri, it'll activate Google, and you can have something of a hands-free experience. You can also pair it to an Echo, the Echo Dot specifically, and then you would have a totally hands-free experience. So it does, in my opinion, have a better sound, the Boom does, than the original Echo speaker. So that might be a case for that. So go ahead and try that functionality if you try this speaker. So what's bad about the Boom? Honestly, I really have no complaints about this speaker other than maybe the price. It is twice as much as the Roll, but I just have I'm a lot more attached to the Boom than I am to the Roll. I feel like it's a better overall speaker. So for the manufacturer, suggested retail is $199. I got I've been seeing them on Amazon today actually for $129. For the black one, the different colors will cost differently, surprisingly. So anyway, both of these speakers, UE, worth a look. And lastly here, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've had this container of water over there. And yes, it is a little hot in the studio. And yes, we do get a little thirsty from time to time. But really, what we wanted to see was, are they actually waterproof? I was saying we were going to put this in the water, but my producer here is encouraging me to actually put the speaker that I love in the water. This one's been in the water. I know it's good. I know it works. This one, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be sad about it. But I'm going to be confident here. I'm going to cue up just a little bit of music on it so we can hear. I don't know if you can still hear, but it is still playing underwater right now. Pull it back out. It's got to drain out. It's going to have to clear a little water off the speaker itself, but that's still playing. There's no problem there. So there you go. Totally waterproof. So bottom line, guys, if you need a new Bluetooth speaker in your arsenal, UE has some good options for you. Both the Roll and the Boom get a recommended from me, so go ahead and give them a shot. I hope you enjoyed this review of the UE Bluetooth speakers. Again, you can pick them up on Amazon for anywhere from $65 to $300 or $200 for the Boom. So check them out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, tell your friends. I've got lots more gadgets. I've got lots more games. I've got lots more guests coming up in the future here. So again, like, subscribe, share. We're everywhere you need to have us to get your podcast content. And until next time, I'm Brian Cromit. This is G3. Game on.